Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where today I'm going to talk about how my HSA account will help me in my retirement. And you're probably saying, what is an HSA? Well, I will dive into that a little more. My name is Sharika Jackson, and I am here to share my experience over the next 305 days of preparing to retire from my full time job as an IT professional and what I need to do to make sure that I am able to take care of myself, take care of my home, have insurance, and all the things that will be needed as I will be only 52 years old when I retire from my full time job. So, what I want to talk about today is my HSA account. And some of you might be saying, well, what is an HSA account? An HSA account is another avenue of health insurance. So, it stands for Health Savings Accounts. So you have your HMOs, you have your PPOs, and probably 2015, 2016, somewhere around there, HSA accounts started showing up in the workforce. And I didn't know much about it, wasn't taught much about it when it first came around. And I didn't do it. I stayed with HMO, right? Most of us use and stay with a HMO because it's the cheapest out of pocket and cheapest deductible when you are a healthy individual. But the HSA account actually helps you better in the long run preparing for retirement. So I learned about the HSA in time for my 2017 selection for my health insurance for my company. And what it was I sat next to a woman that was an attorney, and she was explaining it to me. She was explaining how HSA can help you in the long term, but also how it could help me right now. So as a female making a good income as an IT professional, not having kids, not being married, I needed as much tax write-offs as possible or reducing my income, my gross income. So with a health savers account, that allows me to reduce my taxable income. So right now in 2025, I believe we're allowed to put $4,300 into that account. So that's $4,300 that's not being taxed. So it's not taxed when it goes into my account. It's not taxed when I use it, and it's not taxed when I earn interest. So a lot of people talk about it from the triple tax benefit, right? I'll talk a little bit more about that. But for me, what it was, oh, this is $4,300 that's not going to show up on gross income. That's not going to be taxed. So then I'm not having to pay the IRS at the end of the year, or it's reducing my taxable income. Say you make $50,000 a year. This is $4,500 less or $4,300 less that is being taxed on your taxable income when you pay your state and income taxes. So for me, that was the biggest benefit before I started learning about how you can invest it, which is the second avenue that people talk about. You don't have to pay tax on the interest. And what that means is, so the way our account is set up is we have to have a minimum of $2,000 in that account. Well, if you're a family and whatever your entity is, some of the companies put up to $2,500 to $3,000 into those accounts for you before, soon as your health season starts. Ours starts in January. But as a single female, ours puts in $1,100. I think it's $1,125 each January for us. And then I'm able to make up the difference of the 30 something $100 to equal to $4,300. Well, at $2,000, you can start investing. So what I did is I went and set up my account on my Health Savers platform, and I was able to invest it. Mine is set up that I have to keep a minimum of $1,000 available. So once I got $3,000 in it, I took the $2,000, I moved it over, and I lined it up, the investment categories, I lined up to be the same as my 457 and 401k accounts. So I just selected that same feature, different companies, but they kind of have the same investment options. And so I just let it invest. And every time I have over $1,000 in it, if I have $1,500, I move the $500 over to invest. So I started that in 2017. I didn't start investing right away because I didn't know much about it, had to ask questions. So find people that sound like they know what they're doing, or do the research yourself, but figure out what the best investment options are for you. And that's what I did, right? I looked at my accounts and what they're doing, talked to people that may know a little more about it. Like I said, it was an attorney that introduced it to me. Do I know her name to say? Nope. Was just sitting next to her, and she started explaining it better than our HR department was. She explained it in a language that I understood. So I was like, oh, okay, let me look into it. So once I started investing it, every time I have over $1,000, I make sure I move that money over. The big strategy around this, though, is do not use it. If you're a very healthy person and don't go to the doctor a lot, when you go to your doctor's appointment and you have a $25 copay or a $50 copay, don't use your HSA account for that. Odds are you have that money. Just pay for it out of pocket, because you're making more money on that $50 sitting in your investment account than you would on spending that $50 for your doctor's appointment or your $10 prescription or anything like that. So I only use mine for big dollar purchases. I want to say I had to get dental surgery that was like, I think it was $1,000. No, actually it was $600. So I used it for that big $600 purchase because I didn't have it at the time and I didn't want to put it on a credit card. So I use it for big purchases, and I think I've only used it 2 or 3 times once I stopped using it. So I would probably say 2018, 2019 is when I stopped using it altogether for little bitty purchases. Like I said, I used to get my prescriptions on it, used to pay my copays on it, but then realized, no, it's not making money when I pay those small bills with it. But by doing that, so at this point, so if we say I started in 2017, we're in 2026, my ultimate goal is to try to get it up to $20,000 by the time I retire, which is in 10 months, by investing it smarter and making sure I put the money over, because I do put money into it monthly out of my income, my check every month. So with that, if I continue to invest it and it stays invested even after I retire, so at 52 next year when I retire, the account fees that my job pays for, which are like $3, I think, I will then incur those $3 account fees. But then also I'm able to spend it on my health insurance, my monthly health. So right now it's averaging, I may have to pay $600 a month for my health insurance. So with that account and with another health savings account that my job will offer, in the math that I was doing, I will possibly be able to, let's just say if I just do the numbers, let's say if I need to pay $600 a month, haven't really researched all the insurance options yet. I'm going to be looking into shared insurance plans also to see what my job offers as retirement insurance as well. So with my current SHA account, at the balance that it's at, if we say I'm paying $600 a month, it would pay for my insurance for 31 months. And so 31 months is 2.6 years. So for at least 2.6 years, I won't have to pay for insurance out of my pension, out of my regular check that I'm getting. It would all come out of the HSA account. And that's the numbers of me not even calculating what interest will still be gaining on it while I'm slightly using it each month. This is just doing flat numbers of where it's at right now. If I paid $600 a month, which give or take maybe less or more, it is good for 31.19 months, which equals 2.6 years. So by me not using it and not going to the doctor a lot and letting it make its own money, it's now a savings account for my health insurance that can cover me till I'm, 54 and a half. And so then we all know Medicare kicks in at 65. So then I have about 9-10 more years. I still need to have my health insurance covered. But with my company, we have what's called an account, a health account in that too, where I'm investing that money. So that money goes into what's considered like a 457, 401 type of, I'm also investing it. I didn't know that at front. Didn't know that money could be invested. So it was just sitting there for the first 10, 15 years, and then talked to an advisor and they were like, hey, you can invest this. This money doesn't have to just sit in a savings account. So I started investing that. And so that account is sitting at a nice sum right now, where if I did the math on that at $600 a month, which would be 118 months that could cover me, which is 12 months, which is 9.9 years. So with my HSA account, with my health account, that's part of my company, I'm looking at, what is this? 12.5 years of health insurance being covered at the rate of $600. It may go up, it may go down, but give or take. And if I have to wait till 65, this actually gets me to 64 and a half. So if you are thinking about retirement or want to plan for retirement and you're very healthy or don't go to the doctor, or even if you see a naturopath, right? If you see a naturopath, doctors and most naturopaths don't take your insurance, get the HSA account, because then you could use that money for that, but you could also save that money, because if you can afford to see a naturopath, you really don't need your insurance card and your HSA account. So start that saving, because I see a naturopath for majority of my stuff. And so I have insurance for the little bitty things that, the MRIs and all of those things, if I need x-rays or anything. But for the majority of my healthcare is an as a natural path, which doesn't take insurance. So I'm paying that out of pocket. But if I needed to use my HSA account, my HSA account would cover that as well. So usually October is when the time comes of insurance selections and what should I do, what should I not do. Really investigate your HSA account at your companies. It's a long-term savings. If you're an older individual and you get on Medicare, you can then use your HSA. I want to say you can still use your HSA, but I want to say, and I don't have this quite right, I'm not sure if it's 70 years old or somewhere around that. You can start, if you have a lot of money in your HSA, you can then use your HSA for everyday costs. I know I read it somewhere. I couldn't find it when I was looking for it, but there are long-term benefits to a HSA account if you have it long-term. But for anyone that's in their 40s, or you're just trying to figure out what to do, if you're planning what is the next thing, because, a lot of local, state, federal governments, you can retire in your 50s. And so if they have an HSA account, I would highly recommend you look into your HSA account, because there are a lot of benefits to it. So just think about it. So if you're a family and you have an HSA account, you can put in $8,550 in 2025. So imagine if you're a family and if you're a couple and you both are really healthy and you're putting that money in there, that's something you both could use in your retirement account or once you retire, it could either pay for your health insurance as you retire or pay for some long-term care that you may have later down the line. But really, really look into your HSA account. I know when it first came about, it was all about, our jobs just don't want to pay for us to have insurance. Our jobs are just being this, blah, blah, blah. And I was on that bandwagon, but I didn't understand it. And now that I understand how I can use it to my benefit, one of the things I've heard people say is, I thought I had to use it at the end of each year. So that's flexible spending. That's your flexible spending account, which is your FSA. So your flexible spending accounts, you do have to spend at the end of each year. Your health savers account, you don't. You can keep it, and let it make money, and then it can pay you back later. If you're looking for more information, I would definitely say Google it. I'm no one's financial expert. This is just what me as Shrika Jackson has done over the last, 9 years of learning more about it, and how in each year I've learned a little more, because I wasn't investing as strongly as I'm investing it now. And so it's making more now. But definitely look into the HSA account, how it can benefit you, and how you can use it long-term for your health insurance if you're in the country, out of the country, because I know there's a lot of conversations about leaving the United States. Expats and Black women are making their moves, and I hope to be one of those here soon, one day. But what does those strategies look like as far as saving for your health insurance? And like the triple tax is definitely worth it. You don't pay taxes to spend it. You don't pay taxes when you make money off the interest, and you don't pay taxes when it goes into your account. So that is what I wanted to offer you all today in regards to your HSA account, and making sure I covered my notes, and it looks like I did. But yeah, definitely HSA accounts is a way to go. And if you are leaving the country, that money that you make and save in that HSA account will even go further in other countries than it probably would here in the US as far as paying for your medical care and your treatments. But it's definitely worth it. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned over the next month on my next topic of what I'm trying to do to prepare to be ready for retirement. I will probably maybe on the insurance side. Like I said, I do need to start researching what my insurance options are going to be, what my job will offer, but also there's these shared plans because I don't go to the doctor as often. I see a naturopath more often than not. But you know, you got your dental, you got your eye, everything is separate, right? To me, health is health, but everything is separated. So I will start looking into some of those. But I'm not sure what the next topic will be. But this one, as far as the HSA, was a big one because I know it is definitely going to save me a lot of money because I invested and started this account and really got serious about it probably 2019, 2020. And so I highly recommend if you have any questions, comments, or thoughts, I will be more than happy to answer them. But remember, I'm not a financial expert. I'm just a woman who is trying to figure it out to prepare to retire and have a great retirement life and not have to go back to a corporate air quote corporate job, but do the things that I want to do that serves the community. I'm not sure if how many of you actually know, but I am the founder CEO of a nonprofit and I teach STEM programming. And I love that. I love that. And I will continue to do that. But I am going to be stepping away from the tech industry full time when I retire. So thank you for watching. Until the next video, I appreciate you all. Have a great, blessed, and wonderful spring. It's right around the corner. Be blessed.